As I said, this is they basically say that's you when you were a child. This way you react to children, especially black girls, is you as a child. Is we match it to how you would feel when you were a kid. To them, it's just like, oh, you see, and they use this difference of black girls. See, oh, we did it. Like they are they're like children. Of course, I know it's them manipulating. It doesn't even make sense. I'm in my 30s, so how would you even like their job? They use these people that they employ that have to maintain a sense of irrationality and illogicalness, right? And they use these different tone of voices. Black girl, what's you? Oh, you changed, huh? You changed. You're not a kid anymore, huh? Like that. I mean, and they'll be like serious about it too. Oh, you changed. Oh, you changed. No shame. So they basically, and I know I make these testimonials to always make sure that they see themselves for what they are, and also to for all target individuals to see who's talking to you. We're talking about me as young as you know, and now as you can see, I kind of distorted to not make it like a kid, and they're supposed to make you subscribe to it, and they say in all the different fashion. Like girls, like so to me, I'm like I know it's the pedophilia things you do to me. First of all, this is illogic. What do you mean that when that's how I felt when I was a kid? I'm a grown man. Okay, this is just purely retard on the spectrum. And they realize no, there is there's when you were a child. Can you imagine? When you look deep, that when you were like about 10 years old, we met, and they want you to be really honest. They would really want you to be really subscribing to this. It's like no, we just dared to be. First of all, these people torture children, right? So you understand they have no shame. This is same people that would in the next target the target could be an actual child. It can actually be a black girl, a kid, a woman with kids. So you understand they have no shame, right? For me, to them, it's like, oh my gosh, it's easy because they actually torture children, sexually torture children. So you got to understand, we're talking about some trash. They try to disorient me. For example, they were saying black girl, but and then they try to go into somebody they say that I've done something bad to. They say, oh, you raped her. The reason why they wanted to disorient me is because they want me to focus on something else instead of focusing on that. And I'm like, first of all, how I feel about them trying to talk to me about somebody else, especially it's just always a reminder these people have done horrible things to women. So I will never talk about anything. And I made the mistake at one point to even try to go back and forth with this to people and realizing these people have been raping women and torturing them in the foulest way and pushing them to kill themselves. So I'm like, what am I even thinking? So let me just focus on the manipulations and the stimulations and disgustingness that make me experience that disturbs me. These people have, and there's one moment I remember, and I've talked about it before. I remember coming back from the gym or going to the gym, and there was this man holding this little girl, this little tiny little girl, little baby. He's holding her hand. She's walking. And he's a black man, and he's holding his black little girl daughter, hands, right? And I'm looking at those two, and like I was like, I like that because it's seeing a black man with his child, and I'm always up. I always love that, I love to see that, as a father in his daughter's life, and I think sometimes sometimes this is missing in the black community. So when I see that, it's just like it's amazing, right? It's not amazing, but it's good to see. It's not rare like that, but I'm just saying like it's good to see that. And I hear this man say something like, "Oh, I know what you like," and I'm looking at him. It's like I do like seeing you with your daughter. I think that's what he's trying to say, right? I like the fact that you are with your daughter right now. It's a beautiful picture to see that. I'm thinking that's what he's trying to say. No, finding out now, I'm like, oh, you were doing this. You were trying to portray, like you was talking about something pedophilia centric. Of course, at the time, I didn't experience of none of these things that I'm experiencing. So I was able to see things for what they were without getting experience re, reaction that they forced me to have. Now it's funny, now they're going back into memories and adding those reaction, the stimulations, and now they're like, you see, we knew all along. Well, you knew all along that you were going to do something to my brain where I will react differently toward children, especially black little kids. You knew all along that you were going to be manipulating me this way. Of course. I don't expect that, oh, you guys are going to stimulate me. We'll see what's going to happen. Oh, we're going to do something. What's going to happen if we do this? Now, of course, you know that you're going to do some pedophilia things. And that's what you did. Black girls, black whatever. And you wanted me to subscribe to it and make me think, oh, this is how you felt as a child. I know all along this is what you're gonna like. I know that you're gonna do things that you're doing today. You're gonna manipulate me and make me subscribe to it and say that was you when you were a child. Would it? And they're like, you see, that's proof. It's like, what? You're gonna make me experience things that are not happening organically, and then make me believe that it was me when I was a child. Right? I'm talking about. This is the type of logic they want you to have. This is the type of logic. And then, it's funny how they try to make me feel like guilty. It's like, oh, the black community. I was like, just stop it. You think I'm black community makes me, no, black community or not black community, you are manipulating me to get reactions toward children of all sorts, by the way. Black little girls is where they try to make it seem okay. When you were a kid, do you remember feeling something like that? Do you remember? Because I was a black little boy around black little girls too. So they try to do this thing. Oh, that's that. You remember feeling this, and we remember, and they try, and me as a child, and be like, oh, they rape people where you're going. Do you understand? And so, oh no, you changed, huh? You changed. Like it's just so illogical. It's so illogical. They manipulate you, and now they're like, it's so crazy. Now what they're doing is they make me imagine. They make me think of somebody's kid that I haven't thought of, I haven't seen in years and maybe decades, and then make me imagine having this stimulation in my memories. They manipulate my memories so they can be like, you see, we matched it. You had that. No, you just manipulate my memory. You just added that to my memory. They have no shame. It was like, it's super obvious. I know it's what you guys are doing. I've been saying that since. They want to make it seem like this is something is natural that they try to find. And what's better for them is when you are when it's something that like that's not engraved in your memory, right? Somebody that, and then they can change it because like the memory of that moment or those people or whatever are just so like barely there. It's not somebody that you thought you've seen them many times or you was. So they're like, when they change, I'm like, well, of course you're just changing that. Like they find ways to try to make you accept these things. Now you're making me experience this thing. Now what you're doing is going to my memory and implanting this kind of sensation and stimulations into it. I've played like testimonials of a man saying that they can implant information and make it like as if it's your memory and retrieve it as if it's your memory. They've been doing that non-stop, non-stop. And say, oh, you see, what match is you. It's like, no, you just manipulate my memories to feel this way now. It's constant manipulation. It's constant play with your brain. So I made it. It was tough, by the way. I was nervous, but I have to understand this is what they do, right? Whatever reaction I'm gonna get, be strong, deal with it. It's disturbing. It's super disturbing. Even with me talking about it right now, they try to create something. It's super disturbing. They give you disturbing stimulations to make you subscribe to these things. Obviously, I'm not subscribing to this, right? Obviously, I know it's what they're doing, and so it's it's disgusting, but that's what they do. But as I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna call this video. Black Girl Part 3 and walk through what they do to what they do to disturb me and to what and how nasty it is. So it's so disgusting. And as a target individual right now, they're already stimulating me so they can do this disgusting thing. So I'm create a folder called Black Girl Manipulations, right? So it would be something like this: a little girl like that, a little black girl, and they'll give me stimulations, or little adorable girls like that, and they'll give me stimulations. This it might not be a 100% black girl, but they'll give me stimulation. You know what they do with this? They bring me back to when I was maybe 9 years old. And I remember when I was like 9 years old, there was this kid that came, and she was half African and uh she half American. It came to my place, our place at home. I was 9 or 2. I think she was like 8. I was like 9 or 10. And I remember looking at her having something for her, right? And I remember feeling something as a 9 or 8 years old, and she's like, sorry, as a 9 and 10 years old, and she's like 8 years old. You know what they're saying? Oh, you see, they are. You see, you felt it. Can you imagine? No, they are. They have no shame. A kid as young as 9 years old, and see, and try to make me feel like something familiar to that. As a 9 years old kid, with this kid who's like 8 or so, with no shame. It's disgusting, and it's stimulating me right now. And it's supposed to say like, and they give me stimulation now. It's so disgusting. And you see something like that. Look at this. Babies that they force me to get stimulation toward. It's so disgusting. It's so disgusting. And they make me think that that was you when you were a kid, and then they try to talk about me when I was actually just turned 14 years old. So about about a year after taking this picture, and I did something stupid as a kid who just turned 14, and it was some moment that I just discovered myself in a sense as a boys at this age, and I was doing things to myself nonstop, and I did something stupid that's embarrassing, and it was not even like something that I was waiting, and no, it's just at the moment I was doing things impulsively to myself. It was just nonstop, and I did this thing, and it's such a moment of a child that it didn't even like stay in my brain. It was just like I did it once as an eighth grader, as a kid, and never thought about it again. Because you're a kid, you're actually a child. You do little dumb things, and then you move on as if it's. And like you see, it's like listen, kids do things like that. Do kids can do things impulsively, not thinking twice, but it's just impulsive. It's not something that's pattern. Like it's not repetitive. It's something stupid. He does it, and that's that. But then, but people who are trying to create false pattern, they're gonna create that as a. You see, it's proof. And now they stimulate me even thinking about it. They are trying to find anything and create anything to make me accept this. And they see now they are. You see. Now I'm talking to people who specialize in pedophilia type of things, right? Let's remember who is talking to me, and that will clear up why they can make themselves this childlike. What clear out why they can be this almost on the spectrum. These people are not here to to tell you who you are. They're trying to make you accept these things.
As well as the sexual assaults that make it difficult to walk at times. For the past 3 years, it has been all about survival. Literally, just trying to keep myself alive to get me to the day when I can be free from this torture. Every day has been a miracle of survival. I also experience what is referred to as malodorance. This is the alteration of the smell sensation, so that I am often made to smell various things, including smoke, burning, dirty diaper, or baby powder, which they sometimes combine with the pedophilia type of torture, including the threat of planted dreams and videos in my closed eyes.
Let me repeat: pedophilia type of torture. That is why they're here making you be this illogical, because they do this pedophilia type of torture and they want you to subscribe to this. That's why they talk about you as a kid, try to make you accept this stimulation that you know is not you. All of a sudden, after they start matching up, that's when things be like it's just crazy. And they want you to accept, and they open the door, and there he is, and they're like that's the end there.
People, I don't even know if they're, I don't know what the fuck they are. Individuals that just focus so much on like, oh my god, I have to win, I have to win, I have to win. I'm winning. Like Charlie Sheen. What, no, I'm just kidding. But what I'm saying is I have to, I just can't take this whole thing into account so much. I make it so dramatic. It is dramatic. It's somebody trying to end my life. It's somebody trying to end who I am as a person. It's somebody trying to take over my mind, putting thoughts of pedophilia. This disgusting, disgusting, disgusting thing. You saw where I was going with that first word. Disgusting things that I don't even want to talk about because it makes me sick. I don't even like those words in my mind. But it is what it is. So I have no choice now but to acknowledge that there are people in my surroundings or whatever they're doing. I don't know how they do it.
Change, making me think in this disturbing way, putting pedophilia. Thought that what you think this is random? Do you know what they were trying to do earlier? While I was listening to them, they tried to counter, but I'm gonna go with another testimonial before I show how illogical they want you to think with the way they counter reality.
Breakdown tactic of belief systems into human will. In no touch torture, the techniques are more psychologically specialized for each target. Most common examples include homosexual targets that are forced with voices that are derogatory to their lifestyle and similar mental images. Almost all targets are forced to view child pornography in their minds. And vice versa is true, that hetero
Almost all target individuals are forced to see child pornography in their mind. Okay, so they want me to think that this stimulation is me when I was a kid, right? Around this age, this age, and this age, right? As a child, and it's like you see they are. Now what they try to do? Listen how illogical they want me to be. The illogical they want me to be. I told you that what they're doing now is whoever they can make me think. The way they change the way they manipulate my memories, right? They like to pick on things that, let's just say, it's been so long to completely, like, where you haven't thought about that person for a long time, right? And then implant this false memory, implant this memory of like stimulations of some sort that they make me experience today to create it we match. They, like, for example, picking an old friend I haven't talked to in over a decade now, right? He had multiple kids. He had like a boy and I think a little girl. And because I can't even remember exactly the little girl, because I think the girl came later on. Now I have plenty of friends that had, I want, that had little girls, little black girls, but they picking this person because I can't almost remember his kid, his little girl, because I haven't talked to him in a long time, and I remember his son, but not the girl because she came later on, and I was already like kind of not interacting with him as much, right? Now they're picking him because of that instead of like the different kids I've known, like my friends that were known, that had kids when they were in high school with, when they were together in high school, like when they were graduating high school, things like that. They're picking him because I can remember too much about him and his, but then I've add stimulations right to it, right? Put stimulation in the memory to make it seem that this is how I felt. Because obviously, them try to say, no, they are. It's you when you were a kid. Makes no sense. So now they try to add things to my memories as an adult, as a young adult. And they're like, you see, no, no, but remember, you didn't even remember too much about what you did when you were like in eighth grade. So this is like, no, 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 no. I was a kid. That's why I don't remember a lot of things I did when I was actually a child. But now I wasn't a child then. I was a young adult. And I know that you guys are manipulating memories there because you want to create a false pattern. That's why you put stimulation. I've talked about this. These people manipulate things. Even the one, that memory of the father and the daughter, they were manipulating that, putting stimulation. And that was not too long ago. It was in 2019. So you can only imagine what they do. So these people know that I'm not subscribing to it. They do this pedophilia type of torture. They then try to talk about you when you're a child, or a child as young as 9 years old, to say, they all were matched to you when you were a 9-year-old child. Oh, you've changed, huh? Oh, really? When that sounds almost illogical and childlike. Oh no, then they start manipulating memories. Oh, this guy's child. You remember you felt that? And the reason why they brought him specifically is because it speaks somebody who you're not going to remember too much when it comes to his child, so we can easily implant this false memory, which is false because of course I didn't feel these things, but now I'm feeling this, and they implant that in my memories. And like, with no shame. It's like, no, you just implanted that in a memory. You literally implanted that same stimulation in a memory as fresh as 2019. They have no shame, and they're like, "Oh, you're going to get raped." To try to counter that, no, you are implanting these pedophilia things right now, and then you now going to my memories and implanting that in my memories to say we matched. Oh, we match. Oh, when the thought goes, when my memories is being falsified. Oh, okay, okay. Then let's go back to you as a kid. Oh, you changed. These people are ridiculous. They make you experience this disturbing pedophilia type of torture, especially black little girls. They want you to subscribe to this. It's falsified. Now what they're doing is they're going through my memories and implanting this with no shame. Implanting things, and they're implanting. The interesting part is they're implanting where it's going to be hard for you to actually remember. I don't even remember what my friend's child looks like. But obviously, I know he's black. I know she's black, and I know there's a black child. So they're gonna be, oh, you see that? And they purposely chose that because instead of the black little girls that my friends had that I remember, because this is where we can be. Oh, we implanted there. How convenience. Oh, but the other one, but the one that you don't remember, that's when it was. That's when you felt that stimulation. Of course, they are so delusional, and they use these childlike people to think that it will make you subscribe. No, you just falsify memory. Yes, you do the pedophilia type of torture. Yes, this is your tactics. You want me to subscribe to these pedophilia things that you make me have? You guys are paid those. You've been doing the pedophilia type of tormenting. Almost all target individuals are forced to have this pedophilia type of tormenting. Yes, there is testimonies and patterns of these tactics used and applied on others. You're not trying to analyze me. You're trying to manipulate me into accepting these pedophilia things. And you're right. So black little girls, yes, this is what you make me react to. You're trying to counter that in some childlike, almost illogical ways of obvious manipulations. And you're not at war. You are in a program that is supposed to modify and change the individual, the ways of thinking. That's what you guys do. Now, if I'm going to get raped and tortured, that has nothing to do with me subscribing to this. And yes, there are many, many, many testimonies from others saying that you guys have been doing the spirit type of torture, which is what you're doing to me. And you want me to accept these pedophilia things that you do. And they right now they're going to repetition. They are, there is. It become more obvious that they're manipulating me. So stay strong, target individual. I'm not afraid. I'm gonna make another video called "There Is," and then you're gonna understand what there is for real. Not manipulated memories, manipulated feelings, stimulations. Real. So to all my target individuals, stay strong and never subscribe to this weird, illogical, disturbing, childlike manipulations. And stay strong. Thank you.